it's Tina and I am back, and today I have a video that you guys actually requested. I asked in my Build a Palette series, my different Build a Palette videos, if you wanted me to do looks based on the palettes that I curated in those videos, and you guys were like, yeah, could you please? Thank you so much. So that is what I'm doing for you guys today. For this particular video, we're using the palette from the Divine Rose 1 and 2 inspiration. So I will link the video over here so you can check it out. In case you're unfamiliar with my Build a Palette series, it's a series where I am pulling inspiration from recently released palettes or just color stories that I find intriguing. And I'm building my own palette from my single eyeshadow collection, which I have a lot of single eyeshadows, and I'm pulling inspiration and tweaking those color stories to suit my preferences. So for Divine Rose, for instance, there were quite a few shades in that collection that weren't up my alley, and I went ahead and made it my own. So this is my palette. I will list all the shades below. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and jump into multiple looks with this palette. I ended up doing, I believe, 5 looks in total. I did 2 basic looks and then tweaked them to give multiple versions of those looks, and then I did just this look, which is the final look you will see. So now I've explained myself, you know what we're doing in this video, you get the general idea. Let's go ahead and jump into my multiple looks from my Divine Rose Build a Palette. Alright guys, so for all these looks we're going to start out with my eyebrows already filled in and my eyelids prepped and primed. And for my primer, I'm using the one from Kaleidos. It's their Tone Activator Eye Primer, and I just applied a very light wash of that all over my lids from lash line to brow bone area. And for this look, we're going to start out with the shade from the Berry Glam palette from Give Me Glow, and I'm just going to apply that on the outer crease area. Very lightly build it up and blend it inwards to the inner crease, and I'm just using a Sonia G Detail Pro Brush to build that up and blend it out. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see more of what I'm doing. So I'm very lightly picking up the color, blending it in the crease just to create a little bit of depth and dimension. And then for the lid area, I'm going to go in with one of the bronzy shades. This is the shade Hot Stuff from Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna pop that on the lid with an eye shader brush. Oh, that's so stunning. Then I'm gonna grab the shade Divine, also from Sydney Grace, and pop that on the inner lid area using a smaller eye shader brush. That is a lighter golden bronze shade, and it's gonna brighten up the inner tear duct just a little bit more. And then we're gonna build up dimension with the dark burgundy shade from the Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauve Quint, and we're just gonna pop that on the outer lid space, and that's just gonna add a little bit of dimension. And I'll go back in and just blend out the edge of that so it's not too dark. For the brow highlight, there's only one shade we can use, and that is Nude Rose from Give Me Glow. So I'm just gonna pop that on the brow bone and blend it downwards. So I went ahead and did the same thing on the other eye, and now we're gonna go for the lower lash line, and I'm actually gonna use a little bit of the pink, right? So I'm gonna grab this pink and run it right on the center of my lower lash line. And I'll pull it out just a bit to the outer lower lash line, just to give, oh, that's pretty, right? And then I'm gonna grab some of the dark color that we used on the outer V, that dark burgundy, and run that on the outer lower lash line. And then I'll use a little bit of the inner tear duct color and pull it on that inner lower lash line. I'll actually dampen my brush just a little bit because it's getting a little flaky, and with shadows on my lower lash line, I don't want them to flake and get in my eye because that is very irritating. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with some mascara, and we'll be right back. For the mascara, I'm just using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Mascara to apply to my top lashes. I also went ahead and applied just a simple black liner on my lower waterline to tie everything together. So here you have it, guys. This is the final look, and I paired it with very simple face makeup. I'll leave everything listed down below that I use on my face. So this eye look is very simple, as you can see. It's a simple bronze with a little bit of that burgundy on the outer V, and it has that pop of color on the lower lash line. Very subtle, nothing too intense, and I think you can accomplish a similar look from the Pat McGrath palette. But I just love how this turned out, right? Are you with me, guys? So this is one of those simple looks that you can accomplish from my Build a palette. Now, instead of taking this completely off and starting over, I know there was a lip color change, right? I'll leave the details down below. But instead of taking the eyeshadow look off and giving you a brand new look, what we're gonna do is amp this up a bit. So I'm gonna go in with the special shade, which is from Cleona's Stained Glass collection. This is the shade Forge. And this is replicating the special shade in the Pat McGrath palette. And what I'm gonna do is I slightly dampened my brush because these shades can get a little bit flaky, and I'm just gonna pop that on the lid space where we have that bronzy tone, and that's just going to add a little bit of oomph to that color. So instead of using the bronze, you can use the special shade and give a really beautiful look. So this is gonna give a pinky green hue, and it is stunning. Now, it's very difficult to see the color shift of these shades on camera. So you can see a little hint of the green when I tilt my head that way, and you can see a little bit there as well. And you can see the pink. So this is one way you can incorporate the trichrome, and with this lip color it also gives a different vibe to the overall look. So you can kind of vamp it up for a more sassy look. I absolutely love how simple this look is, but it still has a lot of punch to it. So here is your second look with this palette. Alright guys, let's go on to look number 2, even though we kind of did 2 looks before, but it was one look with a little bit of a twist. So look number 2, we're gonna go for something a little bit more smoky. So I'm gonna start out again with the transition shade, which is the Berry Glam kind of taupey nude shade, and we're gonna just buff that in the crease lightly to give ourselves a little bit of a buffing blending zone, because again, I said we're going smoky, we're going a little bit darker, so this is gonna give us that start of the darkness on the brow bone area. Then I'm gonna go in with the dusty purple mauve shade, which is Gossip Girl, and I'll apply that on the outer V with a smaller blending brush just to get that smoky effect on that outer V, and we're just gonna buff that out. So there is news that this brush has been redone by Eddie Funkhauser, so I'm waiting for mine to be delivered so I can give you feedback, but we're just creating a smoky outer V space with this brush. Then we're gonna go in with our smoky dark purple. This is Midnight Red from Sydney Grace Cosmetics. It's one of my favorite shades from them. It's such a beautiful blackened purple, and it works great for smoky looks. And I'm just gonna apply that on the center of the lid and pull it outwards. And then I'll go back in with the blending brush and just go around the edges very lightly to buff out the harsh line that we kind of created with that brush. Alright, now we're gonna darken up that outer V. So I'm grabbing the dark burgundy shade from the Dose of Colors palette. That one is from the Marvelous Mauves palette again. And we're just gonna add it to the outer V to darken it up and smoke it out a bit. And I'll go back in with our larger blending brush just to buff out and blow out the edges of that color. Now we're gonna go in with our brow bone highlight, and we're gonna use the shade on the inner tear duct as well. So I'm gonna pop that right beneath my brow, blend out the edge on the brow bone, and then I'll grab a shader brush to pop that on the inner tear duct and inner lid area, and that's gonna give us a matte inner bright highlight without being shimmery at all. And I'm just going to use the edge of the brush to blend the edge in with the other shades on the lid and on the crease line. Now we could stop here and just call it a day, and that's a great look, but I want to amp it up a bit, so I'm going in with Tattletale, and I'm just gonna pop that right on the center of the lid, almost like a halo eye or like a spotlight eye, but I just want that to give a little bit of interest right on the center of the eye. So it's gonna pull a little bit of light. You see that? That is such a perfect shade. Boom. On the lower lash line, we're just gonna use the dark burgundy shade on that lash line and smoke it out. We're not gonna add any other colors. We're just gonna leave it pretty simple and smoky. All right, let's do mascara and finish up the look. So I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Mascara, and on the lower lash line, if you know me by now, then you know that I love a good colorful liner to balance out a look. So I'm gonna actually use a cyan blue pencil on the lower lash line. This is high def cyan chromographic pencil from MAC, and this is a beautiful blue color. And I'm gonna finish up the lower lash line with some mascara on my lower lashes, and that is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. And I'll finish up the lips with some gloss, just some nude gloss. This is the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. Beautiful, simple look. So here you have the look with a blue liner, which I think really adds some interest to the eyes. It's still a smoky, sultry look, but then it adds this little pop of interest, and I love doing that with any of my looks. Just add a bright lower waterline liner. But I also like this look with a black liner. So I'm going to apply that to my lower lash line, and that is my Urban Decay Perversion 24/7 eyeliner pencil. Everything else on the face remains the same. Now with the black liner, the look becomes more sexy and sultry instead of playful. So if you want to go for va va voom, go for the black liner. And overall, I love this look. It's a smoky look, but it's not too intense. It's still gonna give you that Vixen vibe, but it's not too intense. It's not like a black smoky eye, and I think it is really beautiful. You could pair it with a red lip, you could pair it with a nude lip, any lip that you're comfortable with, because it's kind of still a neutral eye, so a bold lip would still go great with this. And the inner tear duct isn't too stark because it's a pink, and I love how this turned out. So hopefully again you guys enjoyed this look. Should we do a twist on this as well so you have another option for this look? I think we should. So to make it interesting, I think we should go in with the pink. Like, why not play with the colors, right? So with the pink, I'm just gonna pop it right on the center of the lid where we popped that Tattletale shade. It's still gonna go over that dark smoky purple, but now it's gonna have a little bit of color to it. So you can mix the shades to give you a darker pink. So even though it's a fun color, it's still gonna be dark and smoky and not too intense. So if you don't like bright pink looks, you can try this out for size. Just tame it, the pink, a little bit with a darker base or even a darker eyeshadow underneath it. And I'm just gonna blend it together, and bam, you have a pink smoky eye. So this is an easy way to amp up a look, so you can change up the look, give it a little bit more interest, and it's still fun. I really love how this pink looks over that darker lid. It's still colorful, but it's not like bam in your face, too wild. Now, since we did that, why not go in with the Trichrome shade, right? Let's really play with it. I dampened my brush a bit to pick this color up. Oh my god, this is stunning. So when the brush is damp, it really picks up the color and gives it this beautiful metallic effect. So it's still gonna look pink because the duochrome in this shade still reflects pink. So even though we're layering it over that pink, it's still not gonna take away from what the color would be if you'd gone in straight with this color, because there is a pink reflect here. And this, I think, looks stunning as well. You still see the pink, right? But now you have a green duochrome. Let's see if we can get that on camera because it's a little bit harder to see. So you see the pink, then when I tilt, you see the green right there and you see the green right there, right? These multi-chromes are so stunning. They especially pick up over a darker base. So this is an excellent way to use this color as well. Even if you have the Pat McGrath palette, try this out and let me know what you think. I am telling you right now, I love how this looks. This is giving me all the feels, all the motivation and inspiration that I need to play with my Clionadh multi-chrome eyeshadows, because this, I'm sorry, it's stunning. I cannot deal with how pretty this is. So here you go. Here's another idea of how to incorporate the shades that we picked out. And that's gonna be our second look with 2 variations. Now let's go ahead and jump into the third look. Alright guys, so here we go with the third look, or it may be number 6 for all I know. So again, we're gonna start out with the shade in the crease, that blend-in shade from the Berry Rose Quad from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, and we're just gonna buff that in the crease area. And I'm just doing a light wash just to set down my primer in the crease. For this look, I think I wanna do a halo eye, and I want to do more of the bronzy tones in here. So the first shade I'm gonna grab is this one. That is the shade Chocolate from Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and it's just a dark chocolatey brown. It's more of a satin finish than a matte. It has a little bit of sheen to it, and I'm just gonna buff that on the outer V and outer lid area very lightly. Then I'm gonna grab a smaller brush and this color and pop it on the inner lid area right by the inner tear duct. Not coming too far in, I'm keeping the color pretty concentrated in just a small spot, because with my eye shape, I find that if I do too much of the dark color on that inner area, it can get really dark and just look like it closes off my eye. And I'll clean off the brush and just go around the edge of the color so it blends out and we don't have any harsh lines right there. Then on the center of the lid, I'm gonna grab the shade Amber. This one is also from Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and this one is a beautiful golden amber bronze, and we're gonna pop that on the very center of that halo eye. That is so beautiful. Oh my god. I'm cleaning off the brush again and just going around the edges just to make sure everything blends. And then because I love dimension, I'm gonna grab some of the dark matte. Again, that is from Dose of Colors, their Marvelous Mauves Quint, and just pop that on the outer V with a small blending brush to concentrate that color so it's not just all over the place. I'm not gonna pull that color too far up into the crease though, because that chocolate shade is already there. We're just using it to create a little bit of dimension, and this brush from Sonia G has a little bit of a point on it. It's not too pointed to create a harsh line, but it allows us to do precision blending. I love this. Then on the inner tear duct, let's use the shimmery shade. This is the shade Modesty from Sydney Grace Cosmetics, and I'm using a very pointed inner tear duct brush. Well, it's not an inner tear duct brush, it's just a pencil brush, but it's very soft. It's a fox hair brush from Chikuhodo. It's from their FO series. Oh my god. For the inner tear duct, you know how it can be very delicate and brushes can feel scratchy there? This feels so soft. So we're just gonna pop that right on that inner tear duct and blend it out. Then I'll go back in with a little bit of the chocolate shade just to make sure that we still have that dimension right on that inner lid. So it's still a halo eye, even though we've brightened up the inner tear duct a bit. By now you know what the brow bone highlight is, and I'm just gonna pop that right under the high point of the brow again and blend it down. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm just gonna use the same dark chocolate shade from Sydney Grace, and run it all the way on that lower lash line. Now if you feel like that halo eye, the spotlight of the halo is a little bit too dark, you can lift it a little bit, and we're gonna go in with the Divine shade from Sydney Grace. This is just slightly lighter than the shade that we used on the center of the lid, and it's just gonna brighten it a little bit. It's not taking away the look, it's just gonna make it a little bit more glowy. And I think, yeah, that looks great. All right, let's finish up with mascara, and you know what I'm using already. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Mascara. For the lower lashes, of course, we're using our MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. And then for the lower waterline, I'm using a dark brown liner. This is a Smashbox Always On Gel Liner in the shade Brood. And I'll finish up with bronzer, blush, and highlight, and also with a beautiful bold orange lip for this look. So here you have it. This is the final look. It's a beautiful smoky bronze eye that I absolutely love. Oh my god, I've been loving all the looks that I created with this palette, and this one is no exception. I absolutely enjoyed making this video and doing the different looks, and it's something that I never truly have done. Like, I've done single looks with palettes, but I haven't really done like multiple looks before in one video, and this is kind of fun. So hopefully you guys also enjoyed it. You asked for it and I delivered. Hopefully I did this justice, and if you want to see more multiple look videos, let me know, and let me know exactly what palette. The Grayscale Builder palette is the other one that's on my list to do multiple looks with, so let me know if you guys want to see that as well, and any other palettes that you're interested in seeing multiple looks. Now I will go ahead and leave all the details for all the looks down below in the description box, so if you're interested in what I used on the rest of my face, then you can see that down there. And I will also list all the shades in the Builder palette for easy reference, as well as link the video where I did build this palette. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave all the info down below, and I will also leave a discount code to Sydney Grace Cosmetics. Yes, I have a discount code. It's not an affiliate code, but you can get 15% off in case you're interested in picking any of these shades up. And I will also leave links to the other products that I used on my face in this video, and if those links have an asterisk next to them and take you to Sephora or Ulta, that means that they are an affiliate link, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through that link. That is a great way to show your support, and it doesn't change the actual retail price of the product. It just gives me a small kickback for introducing you to those products. And I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter, because you know we get a little non-PC over there, so if you want to hear my opinions, which are a lot, then follow me over there. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I love you guys, take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye guys.